You're listening to Raising Anchor on 990 WBOB. Welcome to the Raising Anchor Soccer Show with Matt Entrican and Jason Carey. Your home for news, analysis, and everything Rhode Island FC. Each week, they take you inside the locker room, inside the tactics, and inside the storyline shaping RIFC. Now, here's Matt and Jason.
Jason, going to start things off with asking you, what did you think of the new intro? I mean, some of it's the same, the visuals are the same, but a very important new voice that just made their debut here on the Raising Anchor Soccer Show. You haven't even heard it yet. You knew this was coming, but your thoughts overall?
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, like you said, it kind of sounds like someone maybe we've heard before.
Yeah, and so for the uninitiated or the uninformed, that was Juju, the public stadium address announcer for Centerville Bank Stadium, the voice of RIFC, a previous role and title I used to once be able to claim. But we did have Juju on the show last week. We did a pre-recording. It's probably one of the longest interviews I've ever done. The guy can talk, Jason. I don't know if you've ever had to have that with me in that conversation, but a really good sit down on the history of him growing up in Pawtucket and his path or his journey on how he ended up with Rhode Island FC. So that will drop probably in lieu of a show on Thursday, because I just don't think we can continue to sustain the two-show format. I know we're now, on 990 WBOB officially here, welcoming our new listenership, but it's getting thinner. Like some days I thought it was getting like there was too much information, but it's been getting a little bit thinner lately.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting pretty close to the season kicking off, but yeah, maybe it's a little bit of all calm before the storm kind of thing.
Speaking of calm before the storm, did you notice a little bit of depression today amongst your worker audience, your fellow colleagues? Because my atmosphere, my attitude was at an all-time low. I couldn't possibly imagine why.
I don't know. I mean, I saw a really great Bad Bunny concert last night. I'm not really sure what else happened. Work was actually very busy today, so I didn't have any time to notice anyone being depresso espresso.
Yeah, I mean, silver lining, we went out for a watch party. Shout out to the Welches for having us at their home. Didn't enjoy the game. Probably the only Super Bowl I can ever think of where there was more kicking than throwing, and at least that's what it felt like
trying
to me.
Put the foot back in football,
I mean, you can't complain about it, I guess, but the best part of the night, though, was driving back across the Pawtucket Bridge on 95 and seeing the stadium. The only sign lit up, Jason, at Centerville Bank Stadium in the darkness in the late hours was that at the time, 27, now 26 days away from the 2026 season opener of Rhode Island FC versus Loudoun. It's going to be a great show. I am so excited to have you back on, as always. And a little later in the programming, we're going to have none other than the president of Rhode Island FC's supporter group, Defiance 1636, joining the show. But for now, let's get into the news, because we got some updates. We have some corrections, I feel like, that we need to put out there, as well as a couple of other things that have been going on with the Amber and Blue.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the club was paying attention to at least some things that you say here, because we've got our first Pitty signing, or sighting, I should say.
Did you see in the photo that he had the mate carrier? He was walking. He was a full hydration station in that picture. He had his yerba mate, the cup. He had the gourd. He had like a water bottle for regular water. I don't even know what that's going to look like for Rhode Island FC. I don't know if they're ready to take their mate game to the next level. I can tell you, I think I've seen Rivera and Sanchez drink mate, but I don't know if the whole team is about that lifestyle. But Argentinian South American flavor is literally coming to Rhode Island's doorstep here.
Yeah, maybe he's going to educate them on the ways. Do you think he went straight to Rhode Island, or do you think maybe there was a stop somewhere maybe down south at like an IMG Academy or something?
That's a good question. There's a part of me that would say, hey, you're already late to preseason. You need to get to Florida immediately and integrate with the boys. We'll get you moved in at a later date. And then there's a part of me that wonders, when you're coming through, because his delay, related to that ITC transfer, related to him obtaining his visa, is there a rule or a mechanic out there? So anyone that knows immigration law, please write into the show, where you have to go where you're declaring for your related workspace, right? So if he's declared on his player visa, which is, I think, similar to an H-1B, does he have to say, I'm playing for Rhode Island, so my first flight into the country needs to be Providence or the greater New England area? Or can he circumvent that and say, hey, I am playing for Rhode Island, but they are down here in Florida, Tampa Bay area. I'm just going to take a flight right there.
Good question. Yeah, I guess with all the travel that they have to do, be interesting to kind of know how that works. But did you see he took the number 10 shirt?
I did, yeah.
So kind of makes me wonder. I wasn't exactly sure where he was going to fit into this lineup, but I don't know. Maybe he might play a bigger role in the squad.
I think that does put some additional pressure. Now, granted, in the grand scheme of the makeup of this team, and for the soccer sickos knowing what the number 10 represents, Chico being a number 10 as a striker in the first 2 years, it didn't quite suit what that could be. It's not necessarily impossible to see a striker take that, but it wasn't really. Was Chico the player, right? Like, was he above others? Was he that playmaker? Was he that true number 10 as we think of it? I don't know about that, right? Pitti comes along now. We knew he was an attacking midfielder by trade. I thought this was the player that was going to have to earn or work for his minutes. Getting the number 10 is kind of a statement. I mean, I don't know how big of a statement that is. Like, have you seen players just pick that up and then just disappear off the map and, not get starts?
I mean, it happens, right? Sometimes players can be a bit cocky and think that, they are the big deal. They are the 10. And then sometimes things just happen in terms of either they don't gel with that squad or injuries or, a number of different things. But yeah, I think it definitely has us curious to see how this pans out for him with RIFC.
Yeah, I'll be waiting to see exactly what that impact is. We won't find out personally unless he just starts tearing it up and social media starts capturing it. We won't probably see any real look until the next media day after the team returns from Florida. But nevertheless, it's exciting to see, and hopefully maybe there's some bigger shoes here than in terms of role and responsibility that Pitti may actually have for this group. We're going to have to think of something clever. We already made the joke about, pitying the fool. We're going to have the pity party now. Like, there's plenty of things we can do when Augustine starts playing for this squad. But continuing on in the updates, U.S. Open Cup update, couple of things here this week. As we've learned, we knew that CD Filens was going to be coming down to Centerville Bank Stadium for that March 17th, St. Patrick's Day face-off, and just a couple of 35-ish days now, and we assumed at the time, Jason, that would be a game that would be given to season ticket members as a kind of gift. Now, we canceled our season tickets this year because we just weren't really using them, and we were giving them away as members of media. It didn't make sense after 2 years. Like, I just decided, I can spend the money better on buying us merch and upgrading the studio. So I didn't really put it together, but a couple listeners came to us in the offseason and asked us, when they read their season ticket member package, that they were actually going to receive 18 home matches at Centerville Bank Stadium for the 2026 season. And they asked us, hey, does that mean this includes a U.S. Open Cup match, or is there something more to this? We foolishly assumed that would be a U.S. Open Cup match.
I mean, that I don't know if I'd say foolishly, but I mean, I think that's usually standard. Most of the times when season tickets include like the opening round of a cup game. But it is interesting to think, like, where is this going to come from then? Like, right. Is there something unannounced? Are we pulling a Louisville and we're going to have a random mid-season friendly against someone, or like?
So I as of this show, I requested from the club to confirm what they could share. And I did not yet hear back, but also I didn't give them a lot of time to prepare an answer. So hopefully in the coming days, I'll hear something that we can post on social media about it. But I think that's spot on, where if this wasn't the 18th promised game, are they doubling down that they assume that Filens is an easy push through and that they want to reserve it for the right to potentially host the Revolution again if we make it to the round of 32? We continue to hear that Rhode Island has been selected for the opportunity to host one of these international teams that will be coming in for the World Cup. Could there be an international friendly that is actually instead played at Centerville Bank Stadium? Could there be, just instead of it being Rhode Island FC versus some squad, could it just be two clubs coming together? And I don't see that happening, because then that's FIFA territory.
Yeah, or
But
I guess
I'm really
there's
curious.
there's also a litany of other sports that are going to be played. Are they going to use one of those tickets as a promotional match to maybe get someone to check out, like, hey, see what else is happening at this stadium here? Go to this event.
Yeah, so I don't know if season ticket members have any information on it. Please let us know, as we're a little in the dark these days on those kinds of things. And if it is just the presumption that they're going to advance in the Prings Cup and get to a semi or a quarterfinal, and they just want to make sure there's a good attendance for that game versus an early Open Cup where they could draw against Hartford or Pine or Green or Revs. I talk about hedging your bets, but as of right now, that 18th game, unknown where that will land. And then also we have a retraction or an update about parking that I think we need to get out there moving along here in this news update.
Yeah, so after we talked about it, there were some updates the following day. You posted some additional information about where the parking hikes were coming from.
Yeah.
There's some taxes kind of involved here.
Yeah, and I didn't get it 100% right, and I thank those that called me out. Ryan Healy, I'm going to give you your flowers here for a moment. We got some documentation from within the Discord of the supporters group that had shared that there was a potential reason behind some of the increase in the fact that the state of Rhode Island had passed a new tax for short-term, Jason, I'm using Aaron quotes here, short-term parking that would see a 7% sales tax implemented across all parking of that nature across the state, independent of whatever kind of activity it was. And I may have hung my hat and said, hey, here's your hike. This is why prices were going up so high.
Yeah, I mean, short term is kind of funny, like 30 days or less. Like, how many people are actually even buying 30 days?
Short term is 3 hours or like 6 hours or a day.
Yeah,
or less.
like
Yeah.
I think I would define that differently. But that's just me.
So we posted it online, like I said, and we did receive a fair amount of criticism because it's not fair to say that 7% is the entire complete story, and it really isn't. When you do the math, and it was already explained to me again by Ryan, last year the prepaid, so this isn't even the season ticket member discount, the prepaid parking rate was $22, now jumping to $29 in year 2 of Centerville Bank's operation. That's a 32% increase. So there's a bit of a gap between what the state of Rhode Island's after and where that remainder of funds is of exactly why we're seeing this much of an incremental price. Really quickly before we go to break, I'll ask you the same question. Now that we can't blame it on the state of Rhode Island for doing this, should we be concerned that this continues to be a way of pricing out our fans that may be soccer curious?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, everything is expensive. So, I mean, people only have so much money to spend, and you would hate to see when soccer is going to be a big deal this year, people getting priced out. So hopefully the trend does not continue. But, I guess we'll kind of just have to wait and see what happens here.
Yeah, it will be a story that we'll be monitoring closely throughout the season as we see new fans alike come to Centerville Bank Stadium for their first or maybe a reunion of games, and things are a little different. But when we return, we've got preseason updates as well as some things to share about the team as they continue to prepare down at the IMG Academy in Florida, all here on the Raising Anchor Soccer Show. Thank you for listening to tonight's broadcast, powered by Sprout Coworking. For all your business needs, large or small, visit sproutcoworking.com. Powering 990 WBOB, that's sproutcoworking.com.
Now, let's get back to the Raising Anchor Soccer Show on 990 WBOB with Matt Entrican and Jason Carey.
I don't care what you say. Juju just sounds so much better than me having to introduce myself. I'll take that every single time. So, Jason, we already kind of talked about the Super Bowl, and I know that was probably the biggest game in New England this week, but Rhode Island did have a game down in Florida this weekend against USL 1 expansion side Sarasota Paradise, and they defeated the USL 1 inaugural season members 2-1 over the weekend. So, I don't know if it's a trade-off. I don't know if it's apples to oranges comparing a Super Bowl loss to a Rhode Island FC preseason friendly win. But if you follow the club, there's got to be some silver lining there, right?
I mean, I guess you got to take your wins where you can get them, right? I mean, looking at this result here, hey, good to get a win. I mean, have we kept a clean sheet yet? I don't know. There's still no one knows what's going on with goalkeeping here. So, but hey, a win is a win. I'll take it.
What we do know, as reported by Caleb Pongratz from Prost and all of his coverage, normally, again, a New England Revolution guy, likes to dabble. And I know he's very boots on the ground right now with all of the Revolution comings and goings down in Florida at the same facility. But he was able to report that First Sarasota did open up the goal scoring against Rhode Island FC in that second half after sharing a paradise goal. It was a free kick we'll talk about here in a second from midfielder Chandler O'Dwyer. And then, that goal coming in the 55th minute. I've seen the video. Have you seen the free kick at large?
I didn't. I missed it. I saw another really good free kick this weekend from Liverpool. Do you think, does it compare?
Similar. It didn't have the same movement as the Liverpool free kick, but it did have, nevertheless, a lot of pace, and it split the way the screen was set up for that back line. It gives me pause and concern about set piece tactics, both on like the corners and free kicks like that. Our defense wasn't really all there in the early days of last season. Should we be concerned that this is a continuation of that rust and kind of getting reset on set piece tactics and defense?
Like we said last time, it's preseason.
It matters, Jason.
I wouldn't read too much into preseason. It's just, sometimes free kicks get scored. It is what it is. I'm not going to be too concerned. We scored 2 goals. I think that's the important part here.
That's true. But that being said, too, not only was it a solid strike, I want to bring up that it was also Castro back in the net. He dove the right way, couldn't put a glove on it. I'm still interested, Jason, in, is this a sign of Koke not being around? Now, it's a second half goal, 55th minute. You could say, well, hey, Castro probably got the second half, right? Maybe we did have Koke in that first half. I still have not heard anything from all of my connections to the organization on whether or not Koke is down there. So since they put the pictures of Pitti out, please put a picture of Koke Vegas and his well-being somewhere out there.
Let us know he's at least alive still.
But hey, either way, Castro's still being tested. It's a good sign to see USL 1 being at I'd say, a little bit better than the MLS Next Pro division wise. I know it's the same division at that point, but USL 1 teams feel a little bit more competitive than their academy counterparts. Is this a good sign of Castro? Is this something where we should start being concerned that the set pieces got past him, or is this something where it's just one of those freak things when sometimes strikers score or they shoot it well? It's just all it can be.
They may be a USL 1 team, but they beat the Red Bulls first team. Sure. Do I know exactly what that lineup looked like? Maybe not. Maybe there was a lot of 2 players. Same time, they also
according to Sarasota, they beat the Red Bulls first team in its entirety. Like, they did not plan to go into that scrimmage facing senior team first squad members. They thought they'd get the reservists from the senior side, or they'd get Red Bulls too. They played first team and they beat them 3-1. So just as a caveat there, because again, it's why preseason almost doesn't count, because things can be so completely out of context there, right?
Yeah. So interesting. That's pretty good from them. But at the same time, they lost 6-0 to the Revs. So
I agree. And that's why you have to take these kinds of things with a grain of salt. Now, we do know Rhode Island FC did retaliate again because they won 2-1. They did retaliate just 3 minutes later in the 58th. And then finally in the 86th minute, we still don't know who the goal scorers were. I have heard, but I can't use that person as a source. So unlike the Leo goal, I can't share this just yet. So if I can find something where I can put it out there, we'll put it out on socials. But I guess the thing that comes to my attention with this is we were not a team last year that could claw back results. And if we were clawing them back, it was a draw at best. Very few wins last season. Rhode Island FC, a team that if they didn't score first, they had a hard time dictating terms, controlling that narrative on the pitch. Is this a sign of progress towards a different version of Rhode Island? Or again, is this preseason and I'm looking too deep into things that don't exist?
I think it's good to see that fight from them to kind of not give up, even if it is a game that ultimately doesn't mean anything. Because you can always kind of look back to those and say, we've done it before, whether or not the game counted for anything. At the end of the day, players go out there and they still want to win, even if it's preseason. So, I think they can still draw from that well.
Okay. And then on the same time, if we talk about the great length of seeing the team reach deep, score goals, come back into the game, What about the idea that this is a second half team? We talked about that at length last year too. Rhode Island FC kind of slow to start games. They had to grow into them at times. This seems like maybe that's more there. And then also, I think, at least as far as I understand how preseasons go, usually they're set up in 30-minute intervals, or if they're playing two halves, you'll usually see a lot of rotation so that coaches can try different formations, different teams. It's not a pure, hey, you only get one shot at this, so I'm subbing you out and you're not going to be able to go back into this game. Asking, as you've seen preseason matches in the past, is this one of those things where this all came from that second half team, which could have been a completely different construction than what we would maybe think is the default go-to for Kano?
It's possible. There are times where often you can kind of see the first half where they're trying to maybe just work on ball movement, controlling possession, things like that, as opposed to actually trying to go out there and score. You then make sweeping changes second half, then certain players in different positions, maybe not adept at defending or whatever it may be. And kind of you see tired legs too, maybe from the people who have been playing the whole time or haven't gotten up to speed from off season. So yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it. You know, it is a trend that hopefully we can kind of see corrected maybe in the future, where RFC is not only ever scoring in the second half, but preseason, you know, we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah. And while I've said at length, and I know it was asked last week, you know, will this team continue to see any additional signings or roster movement? I did hear some trialist names that have been making appearances for Rhode Island. And what I will say now is it seems like Kano is at that point where he's looking at that USL veterancy right now. He's looking at the journeymen that are still available either in free agency or, you know, don't have, I guess it all would be free agency at this point, but he's looking at those players that don't yet have a place to call home. And could they be an additional, you know, piece to his tactics or what he's looking for to bring out of the squad. So I've heard some names float by. I don't want to say them because they're all basically filed under trial list for the time being. And I don't think it would do the fans any good to say a name that then doesn't pan out, especially for that player who may be trying to find his way and get to some team. He may not want that noise either, but there are trialists from the USL at its large, you know, both the one and championship pieces with players looking at seeing if Rhode Island FC could be a future home for them. So that's exciting to see. I guess, you know, before we go into the next segment, it looks like Rhode Island will wrap up their IMG Academy time at the end of this week as they take on the Philadelphia Union 2 this February 12th. The team will come home sometime either at the end of this week, you know, bookending the weekend, or they'll come home at the beginning of next week. I'm not sure exactly the date. They didn't give us that specifically because we don't have Bermuda to go to now, so we're not under the gun on that. But curious, Jason, for you, we've now beaten we've beaten two USL teams and lost to one MLS Next Pro team. If you were to gauge the progression of this, does this look like the right thing going from game after game? Should we expect any other different result from a Union 2 side, considering we didn't beat the Revs 2 early in preseason?
I mean, I'd say so far so good. You know, the first 2 years we did pretty well in preseason, and so far sounds like even with that loss, I think we're still doing pretty well too. You know, maybe we'll sit here and take stock after this last match, but you know, I'm happy from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think it will be something we continue to evaluate and see what that'll look like when they come time for that next media day here in the near future. But I think we got to go to break, and then when we get back, we'll dive into it.
Yeah, and so when we return, the one and only Ervin Vargas, president of Defiance 1636, joins the show to tease what's in store for New England's best supporters group here on the Raising Anchor Soccer Show.
Fans, as the weather becomes more and more unpredictable, be sure to check out 990 WBOB's weather page for all your temperature, storm, and travel info. Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature has in store with the 990 WBOB weather page.
Now, let's get back to the Raising Anchor Soccer Show on 990 WBOB with Matt Entrican and Jason Carey.
And we're back to the Raising Anchor Soccer Show, and joining us, hopefully unmuting himself in the near future as we get ready to do this, is the one and only El Jefe, Mr. Ervin Vargas of Defiance 1636. Ervin, how is it going, my friend?
How's it going, guys? Doing well. As you guys probably already know, I turned 30 this Saturday, that past then. So blessings to everybody that gave me a happy birthday. But other than that, I'm excited to give us another amazing season of the best supporter group. La Barra Brava is ready to go like always. And I'm excited to be here to talk about it.
Ervin, did you wake up with any new aches or pains when you turned into that ancient age of 30?
Funny enough, I was already getting those pains at 29, so I think it was just like, oh, I'm just used to it. Just give me Tylenol and I'll call it a day.
And how old do you think you'll be when you finally stop getting carded for adult purchases?
I don't know because I could just keep shaving and people will still card me. I have a beard, as you could probably see by my picture, and I still get carded. So I don't know what to tell you. I think the eternal youth is just here to stay.
Hey, nothing wrong with keeping a baby face, you know?
Absolutely.
I would love to see Ervin with like a homeless level beard, like just like wizard Lord of the Rings length. Like Ervin, if we need to make a bet at some point where we can make that happen, please let's talk wagers, because I if you can grow it, if you have the genes to do it, I kind of think I need to see it happen.
I don't know. I think you guys have seen the length of what I can get to. I think that's it. I know my brother could definitely do it, but he gets to the point where he just ends up like cutting it to the point where like it's not going to get too crazy. So if I ask him, maybe, but he's very much into like, nah, man, I like looking good. So that's it.
So let's get into this. This is not only for our regular listeners, but we do have that whole new audience expanded from our partnership with 990 WBOB. So I kind of want to get back to basics, almost similar to what we had in year 2, when we had you and Joe kind of break down a supporters group and the responsibilities. So in 30 seconds or less, how would you explain to someone who does not know what supporter group culture is, what is Defiance 1636?
I mean, Defiance 1636 basic is that we are basically the crazies behind the goal. We are the loudest in the room. We're the loudest in our community. But besides being the loudest behind the goal, we are also the best when it comes to our community. Anytime our community needs us, we are there for them. By day, we are family. By night, we are hooligans, and we're just having a good time and helping in both in unison, basically.
And I want to distinguish the difference between a Rhode Island FC fan and a Defiance 1636 supporter. What are those differences, and how does a Rhode Island FC fan who may be supporter curious and hasn't taken the leap into the craziness that is that section of the bucket, what are those differences, and how does a fan become a member of Defiance?
I mean, the easiest way to do it is just get inside the bucket and join us in any game, whether it's a game, whether it's a local event that we host, anything that we do, whether it's a community event, anywhere to kind of just join us and get involved with the people that are the 36ers is the best way to get involved. And then after that, it's all coming down to just like, if you'd like, join us, pay your dues, and welcome to the Barra Bahia.
Can you share with listeners what would be like the new benefits of becoming a D36 member?
So the new benefits is honestly a lot of stuff is happening as we roll into it. Local businesses are starting to reach out to us and love to give us discounts so that more people can get invested into their local businesses. Big business for us that we love is the Guild. They're giving us discounts for people that show their Defiance card. Mother Earth is another one that also is one of our big partners. Little Roadie Coffee is making a brand new brew for us. So if you like homemade coffee, you like local coffee, that is something that they're making for us. And of course, a local eatery and club, Cosmopolitan in Central Falls, that loves authentic Colombian food. That is the place to go, especially during the World Cup. If you are Colombiano, that's where to go.
Hey, now hold on, easy there with the advertisements. All right, you're throwing out sponsorships, and we're not getting paid over here. One thing I didn't know until it was pretty late in the season last year. So for our younger audience, we're not going to make them earmuff right now. But was it true that you may have had a partnership with Mother Earth as well?
We did, yeah. Oh yeah, we still do.
Still ongoing?
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. So that means Defiance has partnerships with discounts in the community. They have a beer that is sold with their likeness, and it has Defiance 1636 all over it at the guild. And then you have, for if you dabble in that other side of vices, you have something at Mother Earth. What don't you have in Rhode Island yet that you need to go out and secure besides the pretzel contract?
Well, I mean, we're always open for new ideas in our community. We know we have many local businesses that make pretty much stuff that people kind of like. I mean, I personally would love to get involved with like a meat market so that we can get some discounts on some carne asada, some like chorizo, like something to kind of get that involved, especially for those summer days, especially for the World Cup coming. I love to grill and enjoy and watch the beautiful game. So I mean, to me, that's the plan. But I mean, if there are local businesses out there that want to reach out to us, we would love to talk and kind of get more involved.
So what has the Defiance 1636 been up to since the elimination of Rhode Island FC in last year's Eastern Conference Final? The last time I saw a majority of you guys, we were doing scrupulous things in the train yard outside of Highmark Stadium. So what has been the group, what's been going on? What have the activities been? What have been some of those things that occur for a supporter group on the outside or in the off season?
Well, honestly, after that crushing defeat, we had a great time. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that did travel with us. Give a big shout out to La Banda. They definitely brought the noise and brought the atmosphere like they always do every single time they're in the stands, whether they're home or away. They always bring it, especially with everybody that showed up. You guys were there. You guys experienced how crazy it was. Regardless of it, we still showed our buenas y las malas, and we kind of gave it to all. But the things that Defiance have been doing so far, we're getting ready for the new season, and we want to definitely be more outreach into the community. So we're definitely investing our time into more community outreach. We're definitely going to try doing more things to kind of get these World Cup games more involved with the local breweries and local events that are being hosted. And then on top of that, it's just basically just making sure that more and more people know who we are. At the end of the day, we want our family to grow, and as we grow, we're going to get more people to enjoy soccer and enjoy the community that we're building. So that's basically like the main thing that we're doing. We're just still trying to grow, still trying to be big, bad, loud, and basically just show people why we are the best supporter group in New England.
Does this upcoming second season here in our new home kind of feel any different ahead of the first game?
I think it just feels more like home. I think now that we have established our home, I think a lot of people are just eager to get back in the stands, eager to get back into hearing the drums, waving the flags, and just being with everybody. I think you saw it at the end of the year party. Everybody was just having a good time. Everybody was basically like, it's kind of like how you send off your kid to college, oh, I can't wait to see you again. It's like the holidays, you kind of see everybody again. So getting back to the home is what everybody is so eager to do. And of course, that's why we have our bar at the guild, a great way to get the season started, where it's new members and current members meeting up again, having a beer, and really just getting to know each other again, and also just hyping up the new season. And we're just excited, honestly, to get back into the stands.
Speaking of new stuff, it seems like you guys are well armed or well informed on some of the new things that may be coming to Centerville Bank Stadium. I don't want you to get in trouble with the club because I already do that enough on my own. Is there anything that you can tease or share ahead of the season that will be new that's not related to the supporter group, but you guys are planning around?
At the moment, I don't think I can share anything, but I mean, I can tell you this, and I think a lot of people in the Discord, all of our members, kind of have been teased already. Just keep an eye out. You'll be happy with a lot of the things that the team is doing, especially inside the stadium. So keep an eye out. A lot of things that have been talked about, a lot of your woes and comments and concerns, a lot of suggestions that were made. The team is listening. They're definitely listening, because this year they're definitely doing a lot extra things to truly make home.
That it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I think to the relationship that the supporter group has, and I've told you this personally many a time, that it's got to be the most difficult job in the world to showcase and be and embody a bara and be this group of crazies that basically break or bend at every rule possible to create that electric atmosphere, but then have to go and face the music later with the appropriate parties. What have been some of the biggest learning moments for you and for Defiance? And you can take this back all the way to Burn if it's appropriate in the first season. But what have been some of the big learning moments, the aha moments that you guys had in these last 2 seasons that are going to better prepare you for this 2026 campaign?
I think the things that we kind of learned is just communicating a little bit better with the front office and just basically letting them know that, like, in the end of the day, we are an independent supporter group. So the things that we do it for the love of the team. We do it the love of the crest. And sometimes it gets a little wild. I take full responsibility when it comes to the wild stuff because I've always been that type of craziness. If it was up to me, they'd put a fence over the supporter group. I don't care what anybody says. I'm so used to the fencing in my country, so I want it back. So, but I think the front office has worked very well with us to establish that we need to we want to do things our way, but also we want to follow the guidelines so that everybody feels safe, that they can express and they can express it in the right way. So going into this new season, we've spoken about a couple things, how we can implement things that what I see at home as tradition, we can implement it here, nice, safe, and sound. So you're definitely going to see some stuff. Trust me, you're going to see a lot of new things that we're trying out, things that we might not be doing anymore because it probably just didn't work out. But the good thing about the front office is that we have that good relationship where, like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. We have a good relationship that way. And, I think that this year will definitely be a shocker to most.
And what's the best way for people to connect with Defiance 1636, and how would someone go about becoming a member?
So the best way to get in contact with us is through our website. Our website has all of our socials. You can email us directly. You can even call us now. We actually have a number. So if you really want to give me a call, you can call me anytime. Just don't call me on the bathroom.
Does that phone number go directly to you?
It goes to everyone. So whoever answers. But yeah, if you guys want to get in contact with us and either join the group or ask more questions about the group, or even see videos, tweets about what we're doing and see what we're doing in the community, just visit us at our website, ridefiance1636.org. And that's where you can buy your membership. You can get all the event information and even get ticket links into our section. If you haven't been in our section before, what are you waiting for? It is now GA. Jump in and let's have a good time.
And the scarf, what is the cost of the membership this year? Did it go up?
So it did go up, but the quality of the scarf actually went up as well. So these new HD scarves are honestly so vibrant and so amazing. You're going to love it. And it actually literally lays on your shoulders very well, where the design just, like, you could see the design. You can flaunt this design. And of course, on one side, we represent the chant that we love to sing, which is Dale Rodi. And on the other side is the beautiful, people say it's me. It's not me. It's Saint Ervin, I guess, if you guys really want to call it that, Saint Vargas, whatever you want to call it. But it's the man who is holding the smoke and is holding the anchor on the beer for Forever Faithful, just to show love to the beer, but also show love to the culture. So definitely, there are a lot of things that we're doing, a lot of ways to kind of promote ourselves. That scarf is amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to actually have it in your hands.
And what's the cost of the membership?
It is $35, so it's only $5 increase of last year.
I'm pretty sure Rhode Island FC scarf is going to go for $35 alone. So you get discounts, you get a sweet scarf, you get bragging rights and exclusivity. Like, this is a no-brainer, folks. Even if and to be clear too, you don't have to go sit in the supporter section to be a member of Defiance. They want you there, right? Like, I don't want to also
absolutely
take people out of the bucket, but you can be a member and support all the good causes. In 30 seconds or less, Ervin, can you explain what that money goes to when we talk about the funding of the supporter group?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it goes to everything that you see on and off the pitch, whether it's new banners, new drums, community events, away day trips. It also helps us fund our website, also helps keep running, basically keeps the lights on so that way we can keep our lights on in the stands. So everything that goes to us, it goes right back to you guys because we want to invest into the people that invested in us.
You can't ask for a better deal than that. But we do have to go to our final break to appease our corporate sponsor overlords. So when we return, Ervin will give us the 411 on the 401 for all of Defiance's calendar this season, all here on the Raising Anchor Soccer Show.
Now, let's get back to the Raising Anchor Soccer Show on 990 WBOB with Matt Entricket and Jason Carey.
Time when I couldn't say the name of the show that I've been saying for 4 years straight.
Those are great commercials, by the way.
Hey, we try. The production quality goes up, so we get increases in our budget as well. So, Ervin, I want to start things off with kind of the hot topic here, and one of the reasons we wanted you on tonight. Yeah. Open Cup, the game we find out today is not a part of season ticket member programming, and that instead fans will have to purchase a ticket for the St. Paddy's Day event. Can you share what the supporter group has done to try to get ahead of the anticipation for this game, as well as maybe the confusion around why members don't automatically get a ticket to this match?
Yeah, absolutely. So the big thing that we always try to do is that when it comes to these games, we know that midweek games are not the most sought after. It's mostly for the sickos. If you're a sicko and you really love this team, you're going to be at this game. So of course, I always fight with them to always make sure, hey, we need a link for our guys, even if it's only in our section. I need a special link. And of course, we ended up getting one today. If you haven't purchased a ticket yet through the SeatGeek app, definitely do it through us because our tickets only cost $10.99. Whereas on SeatGeek, I think it's like $15 with the fees all included. So, I mean, it's not a total bump, but I mean, from $10.99 to $15, it's some people definitely want to count their pennies.
If you have a family of 5, that's $25 extra you don't have to spend. That makes sense.
Exactly. So that you can use that in concessions, merchandise, or whatever you'd like to do. So that for me, we always work with the team to make that happen, to make sure that we can fill up our section and also give you guys the best discount we can.
And where's that link at right now? If fans that maybe are, again, not in the know.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys need it, it's posted all over our social media. And of course, if you're in our Discord, you probably have already seen the announcement page that we were posted. But if you do need it, definitely reach out to one of our socials or email us and we'll give you the link. The link is always public. If you're on the Reddit, it's publicly on the Reddit as well.
When it comes to this upcoming season, when we look at the watch party, maybe for those who have already been to them and then maybe some new people who are looking to attend, we talk about the location here, and is there any changes for, people who've already been before?
No. So thankfully, we have been working really hard with our partner at the Guild. Shout out to Duffy, who's been working tremendously hard to make sure that we stay and have a great experience in our like kind of our HQ, basically. That's where the beer is sold. That's where everybody knows. That's where all the watch parties have been. Whether it's an RIFC party, quote unquote, or it's the Defiance home base. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows that RIFC away games are always played there. So nothing has changed. Once again, we'll be at the Guild for the 3rd season, and we'll have a nice screen. Things are changing at the Guild. They're actually improving on seating. They're improving on the sound quality, and they're trying to sharpen the image of the projector. So that way, no matter where you sit, you'll always hear the game clearly, and you'll also be able to see the game clearly.
And then how about for like events that are not related to away dates or anything like that? Is there anything that you can share as early teasers around things that the group will be participating in, whether it's directly tied into Rhode Island FC or community events? Is there anything that you guys have planned on the horizon? Maybe World Cup integrations of any kind?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, if we're talking about World Cup, we are definitely looking into joining watch parties, whether it's at the Guild, whether it's at local bars like Moniker, the German American Culture Society, and maybe we might even take a trip to our boys, the German club up in Attleboro as well. You never know, because those guys have great waffles, by the way. They're always like switching back and forth with us here. But yeah, anywhere where they would be interested in having us, we would love to show our pride of Defiance experience, because the World Cup is every 4 years, but this club will always be here every single year. So definitely join in the community if you really love the World Cup experience. That camaraderie doesn't go away when the World Cup goes away.
And then how about other community events? I think in the years past, you've done the 4th of July march,
Yep.
you've done filling backpacks,
Yep.
Mundelito.
So
What else is going on?
we're doing stuff like that as well again. So we're definitely going to be doing like the first event that we're doing February the 28th. We'll be having our bar at the bar. As always, that's where you get to pick up your membership, buy a new membership, and also just hang out a week before the season. After that, another notable one, a little bit down the line, is down in the summer. We'll be helping Mundelito out with their annual kids charity matches, which the money goes to scholarships and whatnot. So all the money that we raise it goes to scholarship. 401 Give is also one thing that we always love to do. We always try to pick a local nonprofit that we work with. Hopefully we can decide which one we want to work with this year, and just boost their interaction and get them more views. But of course, the ones that we always try to do to keep the tradition going, we're definitely doing trunk or treat again at Slater Park with the Pataki PD, and of course our end of the year party that we do every year, which involves Toys for Tots, and of course we do raffles there, and just our end of the year party to just say see you next year. So just to kind of give you at least the basics that everybody knows so far, that's so far. But if you want to learn more about the events that we're planning now, keep an eye on our socials.
Yeah, and then speaking of donating to a cause, I can't stress enough the amount of money that we donated for crushing cancer with 990 WBOB for F-Bomb Friday. Us and our listenership donated personally over $400 to the cause. So thank you to our listeners who jumped in and helped for such a good cause. I totally forgot to talk about that today. So well done. And our team, Jason, got first place amongst the groups trying to generate the money for a good cause. So full credit to the Team Whackers, which was our name. Not sure how that happened that way, but nevertheless. But back into it. Planned away dates. So this is the one we wanted to kind of end the show with.
Yeah.
What are currently Defiance and La Banda's planned travel dates so that fans know that Rhode Island FC will be traveling in force for these matches?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, the one that I'm very proud of, I can't wait for this one. And it's not even the Hartford one. It's not even El Clamico. It's literally us having another battle with another New England team. It's Rhode Island FC against Portland Hearts of Pine. It's Dorigo Union against Defiance. It's the supporter group against La Barra. It's going to be so awesome. It's going to be great. Those two, we see them as brothers. So that's why we see this as like such a great get together. Last year, we were able to play them here at home. We were able to facilitate them to be able to bring their drums. They march with us. And for the 90 minutes, we were enemies. But after that, we were able to share beers, have a great time. And we came out victorious in that one. And they got to experience La Barra Bahia in its full force at home. And this year, I think they're going to be shocked. We sold, I think, about 160 tickets. Like we're going pretty strong. We sold out an entire section on our own. On top of that, I'm happy
Irvin, is that different from the Lewiston match? Because we've already seen the Hearts of Pine away, but it was not at the place that they now call home in Fitzpatrick. So will there be even more members of Defiance in traveling support?
Absolutely. I mean, if everybody remembers the Lewiston match, it was on a rainy weekday game. So for the sickos that did show up to that game, I'm very happy you guys did. We definitely have a nice little picture of that one. But this one, it's a Saturday. No, like everybody's already planning their trip. Everybody's got their ticket. We have way more members going into this. I think we doubled if not tripled our numbers from last time. So we're coming in full force. La Banda will be there. Whether they like it or not, we're going to make the noise, and they're definitely going to feel the wrath of the 401.
And for El Clamico, we now have 2 away trips this year. We told you we won't be making it to the final game, as we found out there's a wedding we have to go to. But we will make it to at least the Prinks Cup match. So we'll obviously Defiance will be at both of those matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be working with the team to make sure that we can get a ticket link ready. We're all ready to go for the El Clamico. The El Clamico is we set those up a little bit differently because it's such a heated rivalry matchup. So we'll be planning that a little bit more differently than maybe the other ones. But away day trips, we have a few that we could definitely travel. We're definitely trying to travel in October to Brooklyn as well. So we're trying to plan for that trip as well.
Okay, so it sounds like we've got Hearts of Pine, both Oclamicos, and Brooklyn FC as the away trips that Defiance will be traveling in mass.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, Ervin. And where can people find Defiance? What are these socials at?
Yeah. So if you'd like, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we're also on YouTube if you want to reach out and watch the chants, read the chants, and sing along with us as well. That's where we upload all of our lyrics videos. Shout out to Rowdy for those lyric videos, and of course our big platform that everybody talks into. If you haven't joined it, join the Discord, be a part of the community, and get your voice heard out there.
Yeah, the link to the Discord is on our own website, and we post it all the time as well. So, Ervin, we could talk for 2 more hours. I know we're going to have you back on the show either around the first game or that first month to talk about just your overall feelings and thoughts on the team itself, but wanted to get some early information out there about the supporters group.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts before we let you go?
En las buenas, en las malas, donde sea yo te sigo, donde la atrapo en la bombo, en la cancha yo herido. I don't care. I'm ready to sing, baby. Let's go.
Who needs Bad Bunny when we've got
Bad
Ervin?
Bunny concert part 2? Let's go. All right, Ervin, thanks for joining us, and thanks for everyone for hanging out. We'll catch you guys next time. Anchors up.
Anchors up.
Dale, Rody.
You've been listening to the Raising Anchor Soccer Show. You can follow the show on Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok at RIFC Podcast and at Raising Anchor on Instagram. And be sure to check out and subscribe to Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you listen by searching for Raising Anchor. Make sure to check out all of our coverage over at the Blazing Musket for all your New England soccer coverage, including RIFC news at theblazingmusket.com. Fans, we thank you for listening. We ask you to be kind and courteous to your neighbors as you leave the show. We thank you for joining us and look forward to seeing you again. Until then, I'm your main man, Juju, and on behalf of the Raising Anchor crew, goodbye for now. And as always, we are Rhode Island FC.